Good morning, everyone. Myself Sujit Pandey, Assistant Professor of Aeronautical Department in Parle University. Today, our subject is aircraft performance. Now, we have to discuss on the aircraft performance. Our chapter is 3. In this chapter, we have to focus about airplane performance in steady flight. Only we have to focus on this topic, steady flight, right? Okay, what are the force acting on the airplane? The four force acting on the airplane is model airplanes has rigid body with four natural forces acting on it: lift, drag, thrust, and weight. Lift acts perpendicular to flight path, always perpendicular to relative wind, and drag acts parallel to the flight path direction, parallel to incoming relative wind. Then propulsive thrust T. For most aeroplanes, propulsive thrust acts in flight path direction, may be inclined with respect to flight path angle alpha t, usually a small angle. Weight W always acts vertically towards center of the earth and inclined at an angle theta with respect to lift direction. Then applying Newton's second law, F is equal to ma to curvilinear flight path. Point is, force balance in direction parallel to the flight path. Second is force balance in direction perpendicular to flight path. Now, this is the general equation of motion. Apply Newton's second law, second parallel to the flight path, then summation of parallel force is equal to T cos alpha t minus drag minus W sin theta is equal to mdv by dt, and apply second Newton's perpendicular to flight path is equal to sigma m perpendicular is equal to lift plus T sin alpha t minus W cos theta is equal to m v square by rc. rc is the radius of the curvature, radius of the earth. Now this is the diagram of free body diagram, right? Okay. Next, the level on accelerated flight. GSF is flying at constant speed, no acceleration. Sum of forces equal to 0 in two perpendicular directions. Entire weight of the airplane is perfectly balanced by lift L is equal to W. Engine produce just enough thrust to balance total drag at this airspeed. T is equal to drag. For most conventional airplanes, alpha t is small enough such that cos alpha t is approximately equal to 1. Okay. Now, the level on accelerated flight, T is equal to drag and lift is equal to weight, and T is equal to drag is equal to 1 upon 2 rho v square s into cd, and lift equal to W is equal to 1 upon 2 rho v square s into ca. Now, after dividing these two equations, then T by W is equal to cd by ca. In here, it means what? Thrust required is equal to W upon CL by CD or W upon L by D. This is nothing but thrust required. TR is thrust required to fly at a given velocity in level on accelerated flight. Notice that minimum thrust required is when aeroplane is at maximum L by D. Means L by D is an important aero performance quantity. Nothing but aerodynamic efficiency, lift to drag ratio. Okay. Now, the thrust requirements, the TR for aeroplanes at a given altitude varies with velocity. Then thrust required curves TR versus V infinity. We can see in a figure, TR represents on y-axis and V infinity represents on x-axis in feet per second in thrust required in LB. And now we can see this is the sine curve is nothing but thrust required curves, and this point is nothing but L by D maximum. The corresponding point is nothing but L by D maximum. Okay. Now, the procedure, the thrust requirements. Now in a figure we know that this is the L by D maximum point. It is nothing but minimum thrust required when aeroplane flying at L by D maximum. Now point 1 is select the flight speed V infinity, calculate CL, then CL is equal to W upon 1 upon 2 rho V square S in S, and calculate CD, CD is equal to CD naught plus CL square by pi ER, then calculate CL by CD, then calculate TR. Then this is nothing but TR is thrust required. This is how much thrust engine must produce to fly at a selected V infinity. Thrust required is equal to W upon CL by CD. Right? Recall homework problem 5.6. Find L by D max for NACA 2412 airfoils. Now, next is what is the thrust requirements? 6.3, right? The different point on thrust required curves corresponds to different angle of attack. Lift is equal to W is equal to 1 upon 2 rho V square S into CL is equal to Q infinity to S into CL. Q infinity is nothing but dynamic pressure is 1 upon 2 rho V square, and D is equal to, again we can say dynamic pressure Q infinity S into CD, and Q infinity to S. What is the CD? CD is nothing but CD naught plus CL square upon pi EAR. And this graph we can see that thrust required on y axis and in x axis increasing velocity V infinity, relative wind velocity or VSC velocity. Now at point A, the large QR means dynamic pressure, a small CL and alpha, and D is large. Then coming to the point V, increasing angle of attack, then what happens at B? B is a small Q infinity, a small dynamic pressure, large CL or CL square and alpha to support W, and D large, drag is large. We can see the variation between point 1 and 2 point V. Understood? Okay, we have to go for next. The thrust required versus flight velocity. Thrust required is equal to drag is equal to Q infinity S into CT is equal to Q infinity S in bracket CD naught plus CDI, and thrust required is equal to Q infinity S into CD naught plus Q infinity S into CL square by pi EAR. First term is called zero lift thrust required or parasite drag, and second term is called lift induced thrust required, we can say induced drag. Now we can see in a graph between thrust required to V infinity is nothing but we can see here net TR means total TR thrust required is equal to summation of the zero lift thrust required and plus induced lift induced thrust required, or we can say parasite drag plus induced drag. You can see the dotted line, blue line, this dotted line is represent what zero lift thrust required function of V square, and there is nothing but parasite drag, and lift induced thrust required is proportional to or is inversely proportional to 1 upon V square in bracket induced drag, right? And the corresponding point of L by D maximum, the corresponding point is called velocity at L by D maximum, right? At maximum L by D, this is nothing but corresponding velocity. Okay, right. Now the thrust required versus flight velocity. The thrust required Q infinity S into CD naught plus W square divided by Q infinity S into pi EAR, then dTR by dQ infinity is equal to dTR by dV infinity in bracket dV infinity into dQ. What is dTR? dTR, again we have to write dTR by dQ means we have to differentiate with respect to dynamic pressure, then we will get S CD naught minus W square divided by Q infinity square S into pi EAR is equal to 0, and put it is equal to 0. Why? Because we know that at point of minimum thrust required, we need minimum thrust, then the point of minimum thrust required dTR by dV infinity is equal to 0. We have to differentiate with respect to velocity and put it is equal to 0, then we will get minimum points or minimum thrust required, or dTR divided by dQ is equal to 0. Then Finally, we can say CD naught equal to CL square by pi ER, or we can say CDI. Then CD naught is equal to CDI is the aerodynamic conditions for minimum thrust required. Now CD naught equal to CDI at a minimum thrust required and maximum L by D. Right? CD naught equal to CDI at the minimum thrust required and maximum L by D. The zero lift drag is equal to induced drag at minimum thrust required and maximum L by D. We can see in a graph also this circular region is nothing, points indicates what at maximum L by D it will be give velocity at maximum L by D, and this is nothing but points where CD naught equal to CDI for minimum thrust required, or we can say maximum L by D also. Understood? Okay, we can go for the next slide. Next thing is, how fast can you fly? The maximum flight speed occurs when thrust available TA is equal to TR. The reduced throttle setting, thrust required is less than thrust available, and cannot physically achieve more thrust than TA which engines can produce. Now, in a graph you can see there is a graph of thrust required between the graph between thrust required and V infinity. This sign is this curve line or sign is showing thrust required curve, and the point 1 is nothing but TA, thrust available at partial throttle, and corresponding velocity is V1, and point 2 at maximum TA means maximum thrust available and corresponding velocity is V max, is nothing but 975 feet per second, and point 2 indicates intersection of thrust required curves and the maximum TA defined maximum flight speed of the airplanes. Means thrust required is equal to thrust available at point 2 and point 1 also, but at point 2 thrust required is equal to maximum TA, then it will be give maximum flight speed of the airplanes, and at a particular partial throttle it will be partial velocity. Okay, we can go for the next. Further implications of for designs Vmax. The maximum velocity at a given altitude is important specification for a new airplanes. To design airplanes for a given Vmax, what are most important design parameters? Drag equal to thrust is equal to Q infinity S into CD Q infinity S in bracket CD naught plus CL square by pi ER. CL is equal to W upon Q infinity into S, and T, thrust is equal to Q infinity S in bracket CD naught plus W square upon Q infinity square S square pi ER bracket close, or we can say Q infinity S CD naught plus W square upon Q infinity S pi ER. Then we can say also Q infinity square S CD naught minus Q infinity into T plus W square by S pi ER is equal to 0. After differentiating and putting the value 0, then V max is nothing but TA by W max, W by S into plus W by S in bracket TA by W max whole square minus 4 CD naught by pi ER divided by rho infinity CD naught and whole to the power of 1 upon 2. This is what steady flight level, thrust is equal to drag, steady flight level lift is equal to weight. Then substitute into the drag equation, then turn this equation into a quadratic equations, right, by multiplying by Q infinity and rearranging. Solve the quadratic equations and set thrust T to maximum available thrust TA max. Okay, now we can go for the next. Now the further implications for design V maximum is V max finally T by W max into W by S plus W by S in bracket TA by W max whole square minus 4 CD naught by pi ER divided by rho infinity CD naught to the power of 1 upon 2. TA max does not appear alone but only in ratio TA by W max. S does not appear alone but only in ratio W by S. It's nothing but wing loading. And V max does not depend on thrust alone or weight alone, but rather on ratio TA by W max, nothing but maximum thrust to weight ratio, and W by S nothing but wing loading. And V max also depends on density, altitude, CD naught or pi AR, and increasing V max by increasing maximum thrust to weight ratio TA by W max, and increasing wing loading W by S, and decreasing zero lift drag coefficient CD naught. Okay, we have to go for the next slide. Now the aeroplanes power plants. The aeroplanes power plants, there are two types of engine common in aviation today. First is reciprocating piston engine with propeller, average lighter weight general aviation aircraft rated in the term of power, and turbojet turbofan engines, large commercial transport and military aircraft rated in term of thrust. Now the thrust versus power we have to compare. The jet engine, turbojet, turbofan for military and commercial applications are usually rated in thrust. Thrust is a force with units N is equal to Newton is equal to kg m per meter square. And for example, the PW 4000 to 112 is rated at 98,000 lb of thrust. Piston driven engines are usually rated in terms of power. Power is a precise term and can be expressed as energy per unit time with units kg meter square per second square upon S, or we can say kg meter square per second cube, or is equal to watts. Note that energy is expressed in joules. Joule equal to kg meter square per second square. For velocity with units kg, force into velocity with unit kg meter per second square into meter per second, then finally kg meter square per second cube is equal to watts. Usually rated in the term of horsepower, 1 HP is equal to 550 lb per second is equal to 746 watt. Examples: aeroplanes in level on accelerator flight at a given altitude with a speed v infinity, the power required PR is equal to thrust required into v infinity, or weight is equal to Newton into meter per second. Right? Next is power available. Power driven aeroplanes and secondary jet engines. You can see the reciprocating engine propeller combination, the thrust available versus very extreme velocity v infinity. This the graph is continuously decreasing thrust available for a propeller driven airplane, and for jet engine is almost constant for turbojet engine. In a graph also we can see the power in the term of power available versus free stream velocity. Power available for a reciprocating engine propeller combination is increasing and thrust is almost constant, and in a jet engine the power available for a jet engine is continuously increasing linearly. Right? In the upper graph is the thrust versus V infinity curve, thrust available versus V infinity, and downward is the power available versus V infinity. Right? For a propeller driven aeroplanes as well as the for jet engine aeroplanes. Now the power required versus free stream velocity, qualitatively very simple: thrust required versus V infinity. Power required and thrust required, right? Say graph will be same like. Then PR power required represents on y axis and V infinity represents on x axis, and graph between them is nothing but power required. The graph you can see like is similar as the thrust required, right? Okay. The power required is equal to thrust required into V infinity, and thrust required we know that W by CL by CD into V infinity. Then lift is equal to W is equal to 1 upon 2 rho V infinity square S into CL, or we can say V infinity is equal to square root of 2W upon rho infinity S into CL. Now we have to put this value in this our power required equation. Then power required is equal to W by CL by CD into square root of 2W upon rho infinity S into CL. Now power required is, finally we can say, is equal to square root of 2W cube CD square by rho infinity S into CL cube, and is inversely proportional to 1 upon CL to the power 3 by 2 upon CD. We can say power required varies inversely at CL to the power 3 by 2 upon CD. Recall thrust required varies inversely at CL by CD. Right? Okay. Next, power required is nothing but thrust required into V infinity, and thrust required we can say drag into V infinity, and drag is nothing but Q infinity S into CD into V infinity. And what is CD? CD is nothing but CD naught plus CDI. Then finally Q infinity S into CD naught plus CDI into V infinity. So what is the power required? Power required is Q infinity S into CD naught into V infinity plus Q infinity S into V infinity into CL square by pi ER. First term is called zero lift power required, and second term is called lift induced power required. The graph, in graph you can see the power required versus V infinity. Now the net power required is the summation of zero lift power required plus lift induced power required. Now the zero lift power required is depends on VQ, and lift induced power required depends on 1 upon V. Right? Then net PR means power required at minimum power required. What is the aerodynamic condition? Is CL to the power 3 by 2 upon CD maximum, and corresponding velocity is velocity for minimum power required. Now the power required is nothing but 1 upon 2 rho V infinity Q S into CD naught plus W square upon 1 upon 2 rho V infinity S into pi ER. Now dPER by dV infinity, we have to differentiate with respect to velocity and is equal to 0, then we will get minimum power required conditions. Then what is that? 3 by 2 upon 2. After differentiating, we are getting the result 3 by 2 rho V square V infinity square into S in bracket CD naught minus 1 upon 3 CDI is equal to 0. Then after solving this equation, then we will get CD naught equal to 1 upon 3 CDI. This is the aerodynamic condition for minimum power required. A point of minimum power required, dPR upon dV infinity is equal to 0, right? Then corresponding point at minimum power required, you will get corresponding velocity for minimum power required, and the aerodynamic condition is CD naught is equal to 1 upon 3 CDI, and it will be also depend on CL for minimum power required, CL to the power 3 by 2 upon CD is maximum. Right? Okay, now we can go for next. Now the power required V infinity for minimum power required is less than V infinity for minimum thrust required. Then CD naught V infinity for minimum power required is less than the V infinity for minimum power thrust required. We can see in a graph also. Graph between power required versus V infinity, CD naught is equal to 1 upon 3 CDI, and corresponding aerodynamic point is CL to the power 3 by 2 upon CD maximum, and this is nothing but velocity for minimum PF power required, and one point is called what? CD naught is equal to CDI, or we can CL upon CD maximum, and corresponding velocity is velocity for minimum thrust required. Then we can say velocity for minimum power required is less than the velocity for minimum thrust required. Right? Okay. Why do you care about this? Because we will show that for a piston engine propeller combination, to fly longest distance maximum range, we fly aeroplanes at a speed corresponding to maximum L by D. To stay aloft longest maximum endurance, we fly the aeroplanes at minimum power required or fly at a velocity where CL to the power 3 by 2 upon CD is maximum. Power will also provide information on maximum rate of climb and altitude. Then power available and maximum velocity, in a graph you can see for a propeller driven airplanes, power required and power available, intersection between 2 points, it will give maximum velocity. Power required is equal to power available at that points, it will be give corresponding velocity V max, and 1 horsepower is equal to 550 lb feet lb per second or 746 watt. Because power available is almost constant for propeller driven aeroplanes or reciprocating engine propeller combinations. Now the power available and maximum velocity. Now we can see the power required curves, and power available for a jet engines is equal to TA into V infinity, is a straight line or starting from the origin and is linearly, it will be linearly, right? Then the intersection between 2 points PA and TA, it will be the maximum velocity 965 feet meter per second, right? And here it will be the minimum velocity also, but at maximum TA, maximum PA, it will be the maximum Vx. Okay, next, altitude effects on power required and available. Then recall, power required is the function of density. Subscript 0 denotes sea level condition. Then velocity at a particular altitude is equal to V naught into rho naught by rho to the power 1 upon 2, and power required at a particular altitude is equal to power required at sea level into rho naught by rho to the power 1 upon 2. Now we can see in a graph also, the continuous line is the sea level graph, and altitude, it will be dotted line. Again higher altitude will be dotted line, means power required is what? Can you tell me it is decreasing or increasing? Yes, it is what? Velocity will be increasing and power required will be increasing. Okay, now altitude effect on power required and power available for propeller driven airplanes. The maximum PA, power available at sea level, and power required at sea level, the corresponding V max at sea level, and the power required at altitude and the maximum power available at altitude, it will be the maximum velocity at altitude. Then we can see maximum velocity at a particular altitude is less than to maximum velocity at sea level, right? Okay, now what is the rate of climb? The Boeing 377 lift off speed 180 mbph miles per hour, and how fast can it climb to a cruising altitude of 3000 feet? Now the rate of climb is nothing but, we can see that thrust is equal to drag plus W sin theta and lift is equal to W cos theta, Vobnick equation. And a velocity triangle, we can see makes an angle theta with horizontal, and V infinity is the free stream lines, and rate of climb is nothing but V infinity sin theta. This is the vertical velocity. Theta is nothing but a flight path angle between the flight path with horizontal, right? Thrust, drag and lift and weight direction we can see in the figures. Okay, lift is acting on the perpendiculars and weight is acting downwards towards the center of the earth. Then what is the equation? Then final T is equal to drag plus W sin theta, and we have to multiply with V infinity in both sides. Then T V infinity is equal to drag V infinity plus W V infinity sin theta, or we can say T V infinity minus drag V infinity by W is equal to V infinity sin theta. This is nothing but vertical velocity. The rate of climb is equal to rate of climb is equal to V infinity sin theta, right? Okay. Then for a propeller driven engines and for jet engines, we can see in a graph, power available is equal to thrust into V infinity and power required is equal to drag into V infinity. Now, what is the excess power for a propeller driven aeroplanes? And for jet engine, we can see excess power for a propeller driven. Then excess power is less for a jet engine, and propeller driven airplanes excess power is more. What is excess power? Excess power is nothing but power available minus power required. Okay, the maximum rate of climb occurs when maximum excess power also. For the example, F-15K, weapons launched from an F-15 fighter by a small two-stage rockets carries a heat-seeking miniature homing vehicles (MHV), which destroy targets by direct impact at high speed kinetic energy weapons. F-15 can bring ALMW MV under the ground track of its target as opposed to a ground-based system which must wait for a largest satellite to overfly its launch sites. Right? Then excess power for a jet engine is very less, means maximum rate of climb is also less, because maximum rate of climb is depends on excess power. Okay, right. Now for gliding flight, we can see thrust equal to 0 and drag is equal to W sin theta and lift is equal to W cos theta. Then we have to divide equation, then sin theta by cos theta is T by L, or tan theta is become 1 upon L by D. To maximum range, smallest T occurs at L by D maximum. Similarly, right? Now for a high aspect ratio glider, to maximum range, smallest theta occurs at L by D max. A modern sailplane may have a glide ratio as high as 60:1, so theta is equal to tan inverse 1 upon 60 is approximately equal to 1 degree. For a range and endurance, so how far can we fly? How long we can stay aloft? How do we answer for a propeller driven for such engine? Now, for a range and endurance, the range is the total distance measured with respect to the ground traversed by aeroplanes or a single tank of fuels, and endurance is the total time that aeroplanes stay in air on a single tank of fuel. Then parameters to maximize range are different from those that maximize endurance. Then second is parameters are different for propeller powered and jet powered aircraft. Fuel consumption definition is for propeller powered specific fuel consumptions definition is weight of fuel consumed per unit power per unit time, and for jet powered aircraft thrust specific fuel consumption is nothing but weight of fuel consumed per unit thrust or per unit power, per unit thrust and per unit time. Okay. Now the propeller defense range and endurance, the SFC weight of the fuel consumed per unit power per unit time is equal to LV of fuel upon HP into hours, and endurance is to stay in air for longest amount of time, use minimum number of pounds of fuel per hours. LV of fuel upon hours is directly proportional to SFC into HP. Minimum pound of fuel per hours obtained with minimum horsepower. Maximum endurance for a propeller driven aeroplane occurs when aeroplane is flying at a minimum power required, and maximum endurance for a propeller driven aeroplane occurs when aeroplane is flying at a velocity such that CL to the power 3 by 2 upon CD is maximum. For propeller driven range and endurance, SFC weight of the fuel consumed per unit power per unit time, and for range, to cover longest distance use minimum pound of fuel per miles, then LB of fuel per miles is directly equal to SFC into HP upon V infinity. You can say the minimum LB of fuel per hours obtained with minimum HP by V infinity, or maximum range for a propeller driven aeroplane occurs when aeroplane is flying at a velocity such that CL by CD is maximum. Then the propeller driven, the range Brojet formula is what? R is equal to efficiency of the propeller divided by SFC, specific fuel consumption, into CL by CD into ln of W initial by W final. To maximum range, largest propeller efficiency, lowest possible SFC, specific fuel consumption, highest ratio of W initial to W final, which is obtained with the largest fuel weight and flying at a maximum L by T. For a maximum range we need for a propeller driven aeroplanes. Now for propeller driven aeroplanes, range Brojet formula is what? N upon SFC depends on propulsion, CL by CD depends on aerodynamics, and ln W initial by W final depends on structure and materials. Now the propeller driven, the endurance Brojet formula is endurance is equal to efficiency of the propeller divided by SFC into CL to the power 3 by 2 upon CD in bracket 2 rho infinity into S to the power 1 upon 2 in bracket W final to the power minus 1 upon 2 minus of W initial to the power minus 1 upon 2. To maximize endurance, the largest propeller efficiency N or lowest possible SFC, largest fuel weight, flying at maximum CL by 3 by 2 upon CD and highest at flight at sea level. This is the condition for maximum endurance for a propeller driven aeroplane. Now for jet powers, range and endurance, TSFC, weight of the fuel consumed per thrust per unit time. So TSFC is equal to LB of fuel upon LB of thrust into hours. Then endurance is to stay in air for longest amount of time, use minimum number of pounds of fuel per hour. Means LB of fuel per hour is proportional to TSFC into thrust. Then minimum LB of fuel per power obtained with minimum thrust. Maximum endurance for a jet powered aeroplanes occurs when aeroplane is flying at a minimum thrust required. Maximum endurance for a jet powered aeroplanes occurs when aeroplane is flying at a velocity such that CL by CD is maximum. Then for jet engines, TSFC, weight of the fuel consumed per unit power per unit time, and TSFC is equal to LB of fuel upon LB of thrust into hours, and range is to cover longest distance, use minimum pound of fuel per miles. Means LB of fuel per miles is directly proportional to SFC into thrust upon V infinity. Means minimum LB of fuel per hours obtained with minimum thrust upon V infinity, or thrust T upon V infinity is equal to 1 upon 2 rho infinity S into a square root of 2W upon rho into S into CL into CD is directly proportional, inversely proportional to 1 upon CL to the power 1 upon 2 upon CD. This is nothing but what maximum range for a jet powered aeroplanes occurs when aeroplane is flying at a velocity such CL to the power 1 upon 2 upon CD is maximum. It is nothing but thrust upon V infinity, T by V is minimum. Therefore, what is the range Brozzard formula? Finally, is range is equal to 2 into a square root of 2 upon rho infinity S into 1 upon TSFC into CL to the power 1 upon 2 upon CD in bracket W initial to the power 1 upon 2 minus W final to the power 1 upon 2. Now, for maximum range for a jet engine will depends on minimum TSFC, thrust specific fuel consumptions, and maximum fuel weight, flight at maximum CL upon CL to the power 1 upon 2 upon CD, and flying at high altitude. For endurance Brozzard formula for jet engine is equal to 1 upon TSFC, thrust specific fuel consumption, CL by CD into ln of W initial by W final. Means maximum endurance for a jet powered aeroplane depends on minimum thrust specific fuel consumption, maximum fuel weight, and flight at maximum L by D. Then what is the summary of the endurance and range? The maximum endurance for propeller driven aeroplanes. Maximum endurance for a propeller driven aeroplanes occurs when aeroplane is flying at a minimum power conditions. Minimum power conditions for a maximum endurance for a propeller driven aeroplane. For maximum endurance for a propeller driven aeroplanes occurs when an aeroplane is flying at a velocity such that CL to the power 3 by 2 upon CD is maximum, because this is the condition for the minimum power required. Now, for a jet engine development, the maximum endurance for a jet powered aeroplanes occurs when the aeroplane is flying at a minimum thrust required. Right? Minimum thrust required for maximum endurance. And for maximum endurance for a jet powered airplanes occurs when the airplane is flying at velocity such that CL by CD is maximum. This is nothing but minimum thrust required conditions. This is the whole about the endurance. Now, for maximum range for a propeller driven, maximum range for a propeller driven aeroplanes occurs when the aeroplane is flying at a velocity such that CL by CD is maximum. It is nothing but minimum thrust required conditions for maximum range for a propeller driven aeroplanes. And for a jet engine driven, the maximum range for a jet powered aeroplanes occurs when the aeroplane is flying at a velocity such CL to the power 1 upon 2 upon CD is maximum for a jet engines. Right? For jet engine, it is nothing but T by V infinity minimum conditions. Right? Okay. What is the relative wind? Relative wind is you can see the lift, drag, and weight direction. The relative wind is the wind that acts exactly opposite to the direction of the flight. In the picture to the left, the relative wind is horizontal, so this aeroplane is in the level flight. Now the aeroplane is descending. Once again, we can see that the drag vector acts parallel to the relative wind. Now, Notice that when the aeroplanes climb, the drag vector is still parallel to the relative wind as shown. In this case, the drag is no longer horizontal. Right? Okay. This is the last slide. Okay. Thank you everyone. Now we can see in your next lectures. I hope you are enjoying this lecture. Right? Thank you. Bye.